Breaking this afternoon, Pam Bondi drops a legal grenade, signing an order to send explosive evidence tied to the Trump collusion hoax straight to a grand jury. Could this be the first step toward long-awaited accountability? Plus, a redistricting showdown is raging deep in Texas, and the governor is now threatening felony charges against the House Democrats who fled the state in protest. Meanwhile, President Trump told Chuck Schumer to go to hell after the Senate Minority Leader's desperate billion-dollar ransom attempt to fast-track nominees. It's been a wild 24 hours. Before we dive into it, I just want to say a quick thank you from the bottom of my heart. Over the weekend, we hit 100,000 subscribers in just 6 months, and I just want you guys to know you inspire me every single day. Our shared passion for honest, fair media and a better future for this great nation drives me, and I want to thank you for making me your trusted news source. As always, don't forget to hit that like button, share, and subscribe if you're new here. Let's dive in. Before we get to that redistricting drama, let's begin with the bombshell that just broke. Watch this.
This is coming out of the Justice Department. Fox News can confirm that Attorney General Pam Bondi today signed an order directing an unnamed U.S. federal prosecutor to take evidence to a grand jury relating to an alleged conspiracy to tie then 2016 candidate Donald Trump to the country of Russia. Now, Fox News reviewed the one-page order just hours ago signed by the Attorney General. A source familiar with the probe confirms this as well, while a DOJ spokesperson declined to comment on this report of an investigation. Fox is told Attorney General Bondi is taking the referrals from Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, quote, very seriously. The spokesperson says that Bondi believes there is, quote, clear cause for deep concern, end quote, and a need for the next steps.
The Justice Department clearly believes this case is red hot. Just weeks after the Attorney General launched a strike force to tear through mountains of evidence that was tied to the hoax, they're now moving full throttle, taking it to a grand jury. The details, they're still under wraps, but we are digging into the big names who could be in serious legal jeopardy and the bombshell charges that may be coming.
We know that Tulsi Gabbard, the Director of National Intelligence, has mentioned the names John Brennan, the former CIA director, James Clapper, who had the job before her. But I want to be very clear on the air. We don't know if their names are going before the grand jury. For anybody that has, talked about former President Barack Obama seeing charges, we're told by multiple law enforcement sources that's not going to happen because of the immunity that he enjoys as a former president because of the Supreme Court decision last year that came to actually benefit current President Trump. So while we don't know the names, we know that those are possible names. The potential charges, and I want to use the word potential, would be lying to a federal official, which is a felony to do so. If you lie to an FBI agent or you lie to another federal official, there could be charges involved with there, and I'm told those could be the most likely.
This will be a lengthy process, like taking several months as the grand jury carefully reviews all of the evidence before reaching a decision. Rest assured, I'm on top of it, and I will bring you any latest developments as they come in. Let's move to our other lead story now. Republicans have rolled out a new congressional map for 2026, and if it holds, the GOP could pick up as many as 5 new seats. If Republicans are successful, this would kick Jasmine Crockett right out of her district, something I think many would call Christmas in August. More than 50 House Democrats, though, they left Texas yesterday in protest of the redistricting proposal and flew private jets with trust fund baby J.B. Pritzker's help to Illinois, one of the most gerrymandered states in the nation.
We know that you are making great sacrifices to resist the power grab that's being perpetrated by Donald Trump, by Governor Abbott, and by Texas Republicans. We will not let power go unchecked. Yeah. Right. Or let your voices and their voices go unheard.
Someone needs to tell this out-of-touch governor that taking a private jet to Illinois is not a sacrifice. Now, while the Democrats are engaging in political theater, Texas Governor Greg Abbott, he's warning these House Democrats that he will have them removed from office if they do not return to the state to vote on the GOP's proposed congressional map. The governor not mincing his words, saying, quote, real Texans do not run from a fight, but that's exactly what most of the Texas House Democrats just did. The truancy ends now. The governor also threatening felony charges.
It would be bribery if any lawmaker took money to perform or to refuse to perform an act in the legislature. Based upon comments made by legislators themselves, they face a possibility facing bribery charges, which is a second-degree felony in the state of Texas. There's one way to cure that, and that is if they get back to the state of Texas and make quorum today at a hearing that we have at 3 o'clock, they can cure themselves of any quid pro quo that would subject them to potential bribery charges.
Democrats are learning that ditching work to fly first class, it has consequences, and it's not exactly what the American people voted them in to do. They're also going to be paying a $500 fine for every day they refuse to show up and vote. Now, over in California, Governor Gavin Newsom, he's decided two can play at this game. He's teasing a retaliatory map designed to tilt the deck toward Democrats. We're going to get to that in a second. But first, here's California Senator Alex Padilla getting grilled over what sure looks like some good old-fashioned Democrat hypocrisy.
Do you believe it's hypocritical for Democrats to deploy the same strategy that they're criticizing by Republicans in Texas?
Well, first of all, let's understand why Donald Trump is asking for 5 more Republican seats out of Texas. It's because his policies, especially his economic policies, have been so bad, right? The prior guest referenced the big, beautiful bill. Wait till people start losing their health care and their health care costs go up, right? That if Republicans were confident on their policy agenda, they'd be eager to defend it with the people and to defend it at the ballot box next November, but they know they're in trouble. And so they're trying to rig the system to hold on to power.
Republicans are rigging the system? Vice President J.D. Vance, he didn't let that one fly. He pointed out that California already plays Olympic-level gerrymandering. In fact, Republicans won 40% of the congressional vote in 2024, but landed just 17% of the seats. Now, if Newsom pulls off his map magic and grabs 5 more, GOP representation could shrink to just 7%. Thankfully, not everyone's rolling over. California gubernatorial candidate Steve Hilton, he says Democrats started this when they gerrymandered California to steal 12 House seats from Republicans.
When Gavin Newsom, who's now saying that if Texas goes ahead, he's going to call a special election to overturn the California Constitution, to steal another 5 House seats from Republicans, I'm saying no to that. I've been in conversation with my lawyers all weekend. We've got the legal basis now, and we're going to be announcing this tomorrow to stop Gavin Newsom if he tries to go ahead with his further gerrymandering of the district. So we've got to realize who started this. It was Democrats.
Now, the problem isn't just in California. Republicans are underrepresented in several blue state congressional delegations all across the country. In 2011, Democrats, they twisted Maryland's 6th district into this squiggly shape just to flip it blue. John Delaney won in 2012. It worked. That same year in Illinois, they redrew lines to snag 12 of 18 seats. And back in the 90s, North Carolina's infamous 12th district, this snaky line hugging the I-85, that ended up in the Supreme Court. And in 2001, California Democrats, they locked in a supermajority with safe seats, leaving Republicans with just crumbs and a participation trophy. The Democrats are freaking out now about the very game they wrote the rules for.
This is racist, what they are doing. Let me hear you. That is coming up with policies that will help all people, no matter what their ethnic background. They have decided, never mind, we want to dilute the voices of black and brown. Well, I got news for you. In this state, the majority is black, brown, and Asian.
There it is, the race card laminated, ready to go at all times. All this TV outrage and performative pearl clutching, and now the lines are getting redrawn like karma grabbed a Sharpie. I mean, Jasmine's out here fighting Google Maps while regular folks are just trying to bounce back from Biden's inflation. And she's definitely not the only one panicking. Watch this.
We have to make clear to the people of Texas what's taking place, because it's unacceptable, unconscionable, and un-American. And as elected officials, we have that responsibility. That's not something we can just brush aside. It's an all-hands-on-deck moment, and all options should be on the table to protect the people of Texas.
So let me get this straight. When Democrats redraw lines, it's equity, and when Republicans do it, it's un-American? It's funny because I don't remember anyone on the left melting down in 2019 when Obama backed Alex Soros's nationwide redistricting strategy. Sure, both sides redraw the lines, but Democrats crying foul? That's like Stacey Abrams giving a TED Talk on election acceptance. Either way this pie gets sliced, it does not look good for the left.
Here's where Democrats are really screwed. In 2020, 32, that election, you're going to see the Electoral College have Florida have more electoral votes, Texas and Tennessee, because of population moving there. And the
Georgia
census
was
result.
this close to picking up a seat.
They were, I know. Meanwhile, California, Illinois, and New York will lose electoral votes. What that means is that Democrats could even sweep Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania and still not win unless they pick up a so-called red state like Georgia or North Carolina. So that's where things are going. But in the end, this is going to be tit for tat, and we're not going to see, in essence, anything really move because states will just do what they have to do based on blue or red.
DNC Chairman Ken Martin is already setting the stage for 2026, and we know what the Democrats' response will be if they lose.
The only thing they can do, of course, is rig the system, is to cheat, to do a mid-cycle redistricting in states to steal more seats, which is essentially what they're doing in Texas.
When Democrats lose, it's never their fault. It's the refs, the weather, the maps, whatever they can come up with. Now, will the midterms be easy for Republicans? No, it won't. With just 3-seat majority, it wouldn't take much for the left to be a spoiler. See, the Democrats, they don't need a touchdown. They just need a field goal to cause chaos. But here's the thing. If Trump's tariff policies continue to boost the economy, I believe Republicans might just hold the House and the Senate. And how do we know the tariffs are working well? Well, we know when CNN has to say this.
There's all this talk that Donald Trump always chickens out when it comes to tariffs. No tacos for Trump. The effective tariff rate, get this, it's 18%, the highest since the FDR administration in the 1930s, up from, get this, just 2% last year. From just 2% last year, we're talking about a level, an effective tariff rate level, get this, 9 times as high this year than last year. But it's not just on tariffs, which of course Donald Trump ran on, in which you're seeing a tremendously influential presidency.
While Trump is making America great again, Democrats are literally crumbling from the inside out. Just listen to their own voters that called in on C-SPAN and had this to say about their party.
A lot of the problems are self-inflicted, and they need to step back, look at themselves, and I don't even think that really continually bashing Trump is most effective.
My name's Frank from Staten Island. I'm registered Democrat, but I hate my party. I haven't voted for a Democrat really in the elections in quite a while. And yes, I voted a Republican many times because I like the policies better.
Ouch. Even Democrats know the GOP has the better playbook, yet the left keeps tripping over their own mess. Here's Elizabeth Warren doubling down on socialist candidate Zohran Mamdani just this morning.
He comes in and he talks about how to make New York City affordable for families. And he says, we got to talk about housing, we got to talk about the price of groceries, and we got to talk about childcare. Because without those young families, families who are trying to make it, people can't make it in New York City unless they're rich. And he wants to make this city work for working people.
Who's going to tell her you don't make a city affordable by driving out the people who build it? You can't tax and regulate your way into prosperity. Rent control, sure, it sounds nice until buildings fall apart and housing disappears. And all those free programs, they come with a fat bill, paid by small businesses and middle-class families who are already struggling to keep the lights on. Now, switching gears, over on Capitol Hill, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, he gets blasted by President Trump for demanding $1 billion ransom for nominee confirmations. Ultimately, officials, they decided that it wasn't worth capitulating just to speed up some nominees who were inevitably going to get confirmed in a few weeks anyway.
This weekend, Chuck Schumer demanded that Donald Trump spend $1 billion on foreign aid to include money for Hamas in Gaza to confirm just a handful of his nominees by voice vote. President Trump, I think, smartly said, no way. He called Chuck Schumer's bluff. He said, go home to be with your constituents, and when we get back, Sandra, we'll change the rules to eliminate the Democrats' delaying tactics and get the Senate back to its customary practices of promptly confirming the president's nominees so we can make sure that we're focusing on the people's business. Chuck Schumer is going to learn a lesson here. He's apparently going to have to learn it the hard way.
The president taking to Truth Social over the weekend, writing, quote, Senator Cry and Chuck Schumer's demanding over $1 billion in order to approve a small number of our highly qualified nominees who should right now be helping to run our country. This demand is egregious and unprecedented and would be embarrassing to the Republican Party if it were accepted. It is political extortion by any other name. tell Schumer, who is under tremendous political pressure from within his own party, the radical left lunatics, to go to hell. Now, Chuck Schumer, even though he didn't get his demands, he's claiming victory.
Donald Trump tried to pressure, threaten, cajole, name-call Democrats, but he took his ball home and got nothing. Donald Trump caved and brought home nothing. Democrats stood strong, and Donald Trump faded away.
Democrats chasing clout on social media. It's like watching a tone-deaf wannabe belting karaoke. It is off-key, awkward, and painfully inauthentic. And this game the Dems are choosing to play, it doesn't follow precedent.
The vast majority of nominees historically are confirmed by a voice vote, not a recorded vote in the Senate. They go through the committee process. They're fully vetted. There's a vote in the committee. That's been deemed appropriate for decades. Most presidents in modern times have had 90 to almost 100% of their nominees confirmed by voice vote. That all stopped in Donald Trump's first term when Democrats did it at a lower than 2/3 rate. And now this year, not a single nominee, Sandra, not one, has been confirmed by voice vote. That's Chuck Schumer's doing.
And then here's Senator Warren saying the quiet part out loud.
There's short term, and that is we block what we can block. We, use the moves we've got in the Senate and in the House, and we're doing that. It's limited, but it's not nothing.
Democrats are doubling down on their failed 2024 playbook, wielding every political tool to fight Trump instead of respecting the voters' choice. The American people spoke clearly, yet the left's obsession with power blinds them to the lesson. Republicans, they're now vowing to fight back.
When we come back in September, we'll change the rules. We'll eliminate the Democrats' ability to have these delaying tactics. They can still have a recorded vote if they want to, but there will no longer be hours of silence on the Senate floor because they're not even going down and debating the merits of these nominees. They're just needlessly dragging out the clock. Once that rule is changed, we'll be able to promptly confirm the president's nominees, and there won't be another situation like this in the future.
The political left loves to rewrite the rules when it suits them, but cries foul when the shoe is on the other foot. Meanwhile, Republicans are playing offense, and voters are watching who's really actually working and who's just jet-setting around. I mean, this battle is far from over because in the game of redistricting musical chairs, the music just keeps getting louder, and nobody wants to be left standing without a seat. I will continue to follow these developments and bring you the latest. In the meantime, up next, Kamala Harris bombs late-night TV as Democrats get some devastating news. Click on that video you see now on your screen, and I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your day.